Let's talk about oscillators. Let's actually focus on the word oscillator first and let's explore what it means. To oscillate means to move back and forth between 2 points in a regular way. And this is exactly what an oscillator does. An oscillator generates repeating sound waves. These waveforms can change over time, creating different pitches, as you have seen in the previous videos. So maybe you already came across the term VCO, and this stands for Voltage Controlled Oscillator. And this is because the frequencies it produces are controlled by the incoming voltage. So if you change the incoming voltage, the frequency of the oscillator also changes, and this results in a change of pitch. You can think of VCOs as the heart of a synthesizer because they generate sound waves. When you open VCV Rack, you may see the default patch. You can just drag, select and press delete. Now let's have a look how to do a very basic patch using just one oscillator for now. Let's right click and go to the library and search for a VCO, a voltage controlled oscillator. Let's use this one from the VCV fundamental library. Great, so this module will generate our sound waves. But we won't hear the sound coming out of it just yet. So let's right click again and search for a mixer. So I'm typing VCA, which stands for Voltage Controlled Amplifier. And I'm going with this one here. This will be our amplifier. And it will let us control the amplitude, in this case the loudness of our incoming signals. But this is only for the amplitude control, and we need another module to go with it, something that will actually let us hear the sound coming out of our device. Let's right click and search for audio output. I'm typing audio here. Let's use this one called Audio 8. Great. So we have these three components: an oscillator to generate the sound wave, a mixer to control the volume of the sound, and the audio module to direct the sound out into our speakers or headphones. Let's make a very basic connection and see what happens. First, I'm going to turn the volume down to about 9 or 8 o'clock on the mixer, because the signal will most likely be loud. Then I'm going to click from the sine wave output on the VCO and run it to the in1 on the VCA. In these VCV fundamental library modules, the outputs are surrounded with dark rectangles. This is an input for channel 1, great. The oscillator is connected to the mixer. Next, I'm going to connect the mixer to the audio. I will take the mix output here, which takes all channels, and I'm going to patch it to where it says to device. If I wanted to just connect the single channel on its own, I would use the channel 1 output located down here, but I'm going with the mix. Great. But this will only output the sound into one channel, and we need two, left and right. So I'm going to do this again from the mix to the second one, and I can click Command or Control and run a second cable. Or I can just go and patch from 2 to mix. And this way I don't need to press any keys because I'm starting from a patch point with no cable in it. Now let's choose our audio output so we can hear the sound. Okay, now you should hear the sine wave coming out of your device. Now let's turn down the volume a bit. Let's patch a triangle wave into the second channel on the mixer, the saw wave to the fourth, and the square wave to the last one. And let's play a bit with the sliders to adjust the volume of the incoming signals. Now let's play with the frequency knob on our oscillator. This is great, but obviously all sound waves have the same frequency. So let's add a second oscillator. You can either right click and get a VCO like before, or just select this one, copy and paste with Command or Control and C. And Command and Control V on your keyboard. Next we're going to connect this new VCO into our mixer, because I want two sound sources running two different frequencies or two different pitches. Let's leave the square wave on for the first oscillator and let's run a saw wave from the second one into the mixer, but at higher frequency. Just play with the frequency knobs. Don't worry about tuning these for now, just have fun. Now we have two oscillators, each running a different frequency coming into the mixer, and the channels going out to audio module. And this is your first patch. Now I encourage you to try and delete this patch and recreate it on your own. You can also play with the frequency knob on the mixer, you can add more oscillators, and don't forget to connect both channels to the audio output and make sure to turn the mixer volume level down before you start.